Alright, we're recording.
Uh-oh, this is live. We're gonna do this in one take.
All right.
That's what I told Paul.
Yeah, we're gonna cut vinyl right now.
Yeah.
November 13th, 2025.
My parents' anniversary.
Phil Norfield Budget Committee meeting. All members present. Charlie is walking back from his car, but he will be here in a second. Yeah, what do we want to start? Updates, probably? Any updates for us?
I have one.
Oh, it's time? I think time? 5:31.
You were 5:30.
Oh, it was 5:30.
Yeah, we're good.
I have an update. The last time we met, Chief Sitar was not with us. I can assure you he will no longer be with us. And the commissioner is appointed and Sean accepted position as interim chief. And more to come. So we're all scrambling to do all the homework we can, and we're gonna have a great year.
Please be patient with me tonight. Kathy and me have taken the past 4 days and to wrap my head around the whole budget process. A lot of it, we've got a good handle on most of it, but there's some things that I might have to ask Kathy or might have to go look for. I think I got everything we need, but I thought we had everything I needed last night, and I had most of it, but I was wrong. So so be patient, and I'll do my best. And 4 days is a lot to get into this book.
It's been an interesting
All right.
week.
I guess you've had an interesting
I would only add that when we all met, there were some questions. I think we did what we could do, but if there's anything that when you go home and you read through it and have notes and you circle back, there's a different point of contact. So if you have, hey, what about this, what about that, and it's something that was voted on at this level, I think it's a fair, I think we have time to, circle back on anything that you feel was maybe unanswered or we had additional questions.
To provide some context there, last night the commissioners voted to revise several of their recommendations. So just follow up to what Jason said.
No, it's just apparatus and equipment fund revisions. Yeah. All the revisions happen in the apparatus equipment
And
fund.
I think, I don't know if it was the last meeting or prior meeting, I floated the suggestion that we may or, we were considering a warrant article for an ambulance, and Chief Alvini is assured that that's not going to be on the books this time. He's actually taking a different approach, and won't steal his thunder.
I can.
Go ahead.
So, it's been my opinion that we should have ambulance committees. We should go out and look at other companies to single source Horton. I really like Horton Ambulance. It's a great ambulance. I have no complaints about it, but it is down in North Attleboro. If there is people closer, if there's other, so we're gonna start a committee at the beginning of the year, sometime January, February, sometime. I'm going to have an ambulance committee. They're going to go out and see what our options are and see what's out there. We have time. If we ordered it now, it would come in 2029. The CIP doesn't call for one until 2030, so it's not like it has to be done tomorrow. It's something we have time, availability, and we were told if we ordered it now, it would come in 2029. So if we order it next year, hopefully it would come in 2030. That's, and if it doesn't, there's ways around it. And but I think getting that ambulance committee together and just seeing what's out there, and then giving the guys a chance to say, hey, I want the ambulance set up a little bit differently. I think that's a good thing. So I want to take our time and do it right. So.
You guys remember? Sorry, go ahead.
You just said that there's other companies out there, so would that mean that there'd be a shorter turnaround? Or is Horton?
I've been told no, but it's something we can ask. But I've been told by a lot of people who have been ordering. I think Scott just ordered an ambulance. And it sounds like it's all the companies, but it's worth asking, and it's worth it's worth a question. But it doesn't sound like it's a better deal anywhere else as far as the turnaround and the time. But it's not like we need an ambulance tomorrow. We have an ambulance coming, hopefully in June. That's the last date we were told. We're supposed to be here in January. Then it got pushed to September, and now we're back to June. We'll see when that actually shows up. So I think we got some time. I don't want to rush it. I want to do it right. So, and we have the year to wait. So we're gonna look for it next year. And just like Horton, and I'm sure everybody else, you can order an ambulance with no money down and no guarantee whatsoever. So we could order an ambulance in June, wait till warrant, in the following March. If people say no, then we just cancel the order and they wouldn't care, because they just moved somebody else up. So, we were able to do that last time, and so it's not like it has to be done right now.
So to your, this might have been on your watch, Eric, is having a committee with the engines.
Yep.
Having the guys in the trucks to, just kind of do a breakdown of what's where and do we like it, this is how we operate and this is how we want it to be. And I think that's Sean's take on going forward with the next, template of an ambulance. And I think it's great to have a pause, a place to breathe, and the guys that are on the trucks to be able to pick or maybe modify or, upgrade, even just the layout. If it's the same company, so be it, but, that was really a.
Patients are always gonna go in the back, right?
Yes, yeah, no, we haven't found one that they go in the front yet, but,
Only the carpool. I do have another question about the budget, if I can.
Go ahead.
And I guess when I was in your shoes, my wish, and there was a plan, a succession plan, and that my had hope was that you would be involved in the budget process. In this budget that we've gone over so far, have you had any involvement in any say?
I've had some input into it, but I haven't had a tremendous amount of, it's the, I guess a little bit, yes. I have had a lot of, in the past 3 years, a lot of input into the budget and a lot of say into the budget. I think it's a decent budget. If you gave me 5 months, would I come up with the same budget? No, I mean, hopefully next year, if I'm the one presenting the budget, it's gonna be my budget, it'll be a different budget. There's nothing in it that I think is a bad deal. There's nothing in it that, we changed a few things in the apparatus and equipment fund. I've already said there's a few things, but there's nothing, it's not a terrible budget, and I think it's a good budget, and I'm gonna be okay and be able to work with it.
Yeah, no, I was just curious, because I guess I'm looking, is there anything in there that, geez, you fought for and you didn't have the final vote, so it
No.
didn't go your way?
No.
You know,
No.
so- Okay, that was just one of my concerns.
And if you look back in the lot, pages 1 through 5, I think it was a lot of the, operating costs and
Yeah,
building
and you
and
can't.
toilet paper
yeah.
and copy paper and IT, and so we didn't get too deep a dive into payroll.
Yeah.
And then those other things that are tied to that, and Sean has a pretty forward-thinking plan about pay structure, and that's a whole other conversation. But we didn't get into those items here, which is kind of the timing. We're ahead of where I thought we'd be in that regard, and we had lines that moved from operating to equipment, and the apparatus fund back because things weren't in the right categories. But we have ample time to the wagons and just make sure that we're in good shape here. I don't think we've hit the bigger spots, and we'll go from there. But I think we're gonna deliver a pretty good year. I wouldn't want to do this in February,
No,
right?
that
So
would be-
or January. So here we are.
No, timing,
Yeah,
I don't know if there's a perfect time,
Yeah,
but
why
it's
not?
pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't go into the commission meeting. Is there anything you can, I know it kind of happened suddenly, like, is there anything else released at your last meeting you can fill us in on as far as that whole thing?
Even yesterday?
Was it yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you what, okay, so, in the public record, guys from the association, the union guys came out, that was a packed house with 6 or 7 people upstairs, and the support was very positive. I think the terminology is from the floor, is the language. And Scott Hilliard, town admin here, was very supportive of forward movement, and we, the commissioners have not been back to Northfield because we check in with the select board there. I don't anticipate a speed bumps, but where we're at and where we're going was, seems to be very favorable from the guys in the trucks, the people in the room, public that I've talked to. You know, for a time such as this, and then we went into budget workshop, and then we did it on public, in a good one, you know, just trying to get Sean in shape for, you know, some things for his family. Beyond that,
I'm guessing most of it's non-public, right? Like the personnel issue. Like
Right.
yeah,
Like
Right.
all I know is what I read in the paper. So,
yeah,
you
and
know.
that was a statement we all kind of, you know, had to come to terms with, and
Yeah, all the stuff behind that is non-public.
yeah.
They released what they could.
Okay.
And then the rest is all speculation on Facebook.
Yeah, okay.
Well, that's where all I get on, we all
Yeah.
get on news, don't we?
Yeah, then the other local events under that.
I don't go on that much.
I
'cause
try
it just
not
makes
to.
you-
I'm not a member. I have people send me screenshots, and I just.
In news picture.
I've seen comments about the new building, but not comments of personnel. Very good.
Well, that's,
You just know how I
I'll
roll
tell you,
out
that's
there.
gonna be the next big hurdle, because you know, this is not a building meeting, but there's a lot of armchair folks that have been, you know, at every time we try to do this, right? Every time we try to build a building, there's a lot of opinion. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that?
This committee has been 4 years working on that.
Oh,
What
I
you're
know.
gonna see next week, and you have people that see that postcard for the first time,
Yeah,
and they know all the answers.
Of course they
yeah.
do.
Yeah, they think we can, you know, tear down a two-story building and build a, you know, a one-story that's 3 times the size.
Oh, that was okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I've read. A lot of
Right,
that was
so-
fine.
The whole public opinion, it's, you know, and that's why those
We want
meetings are
to
important.
bag it up.
You get that, you get that information flowing both ways. That's how we build the PD, you
Where
know.
do we leave off? I didn't bring that
Well,
last.
why don't
Let's
we
start with
what-
elections.
Yeah, why don't we start on page 2
We made a
and just work our way through?
highlighted all the areas on the stuff, in between the stuff that we did.
You used
This is
to,
the handout tonight, right?
Yes.
Is there any
This-
agenda or
No,
quick look thing?
you used to,
Is there any
highlight the
meeting
things that
minutes,
we hadn't done
actually?
yet.
well, I am one person doing
Here you go.
a bunch of work
Yeah.
and,
DIY.
sorry, I did not.
No, no, it was just easy.
We are operating without our administrative assistant right now. We did make an offer on that job. We have the background check. Hopefully, they're starting December 1st. So Kathy's doing 2 jobs right now, and the same thing in, you know, I don't have a deputy right now, so we have 2 people doing.
Sean and I are really
Kathy
busy.
does like 5 jobs.
Yes.
Don't undersell it.
So we don't have to vote on the minutes from last time.
I did,
Okay.
no,
No,
nope,
that's
not
fine.
done, sorry.
That's fine. One less thing to do. Just want to make sure I wasn't gonna miss it. Okay.
Nope, they're sitting there waiting.
So elections.
Yes.
All right. Is that?
I make a motion for $5,000, I'm sorry, for $2,500 on line 4140 elections for discussion.
Second it.
Right. Any discussion on it? I mean, I remember we talked about it briefly last.
I think the thing was, we were wondering, we weren't sure, I think a lot of it had to do with the building, if we're planning on going late, if we think we're gonna go late and pay people overtime to the election officials and
Another
the
issue,
police.
yeah, and if I recall, another issue was the audio-visual person was a volunteer last year, and we don't know if we're gonna get him again this year.
I hope
Yeah.
not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those are the 3
I had
things.
thought somebody said last meeting we were, right?
I think she just said that he volunteered.
Yeah.
He did,
I
he did
haven't-
last year.
It
We
depends
donated
on,
it back.
yeah, it depends on whether he's working that night or not. I have, you know, Adam Sepp, Laura and Brian Dumper, other 2 that do it for us.
Does the 2,500 include them in it, their fee, that fee in it?
No,
It does not. Do we know what the fee is for them?
no. It's been a couple of years.
Right?
So it's 2,500 enough if the easement?
You know,
If he doesn't take pay.
it's one of those,
It ain't 10 grand.
that is true.
It was probably a couple $100.
Yeah, probably $200. I mean, and we've got a bottom line budget,
Yeah, I'd say you'd probably be okay.
probably,
Probably.
yeah,
Otherwise you multiply a couple $100 over the budget,
right,
At least not a couple thousand.
true.
a couple hundred.
Do we want to make a motion now?
So moved.
Second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded for 2,500. All those in favor?
I,
Nay. Abstentions? Unanimous. Legal expense. I do remember we were briefly talking about that one as well.
So I figured that.
That should be a good number,
the 5,000.
yes,
Pastel, our water district travails.
that's all gone.
Yay.
Yeah, I mean, it's for to you guys, I think 5,000 is good.
Well, given present personnel climate, that's why.
Still feel solid though, 5,000 is good.
Yeah.
That's my personal legal
You don't,
expense for the year.
yeah, you don't know.
Well, if you go a little higher in legal, you can go back if you need to for the election.
That one's hard telling.
It is.
And they can't divulge certain things, so that makes it tough. Right.
What we're looking at for legal, as far as I can tell, is the attorneys reviewing our warrant articles to make sure that they're correct, coming to district meeting. If we get any contracts or anything, they would review those.
The only contract I see go forward is the one for the cistern, but that's mostly done. I might need that help a little bit.
Yeah, that's mostly done, that's really easy.
That's just an easement.
Yeah.
That's most, yeah, we're getting a cistern over on Taylor Hill Road, just some easy stuff. But other than that, I don't see any. Again,
It all depends too on what happens with the building, the buildings.
that'll be built into the building.
Right, it should be.
All right, well, I make a motion for fund 4153 for 5,000. Made and seconded. Any more discussion? Yeah. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Unanimous. We want to relatively skip social security until we get the salaries.
These,
and
all
stuff.
three of these, it's just based on what your salary line
Right.
is.
You guys didn't do the hydrants.
It's not on this page.
It's on page before that, right? Yeah, I did see that.
Okay.
Well, that it comes in another line though, further down.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah, the hydrant.
so the next thing you come to is on page 4, and that's salaries and wages in school and training fees.
so 44220.
Yeah, the 100, and then the 335 underneath that. 100 is all the salaries and wages.
Page we on again?
4.
Page 4.
Page 4.
I was trying to figure out, I saw some highlighted spots that we skipped, so I was like.
Those are all based on these numbers.
Right.
Yeah, we'll go back to those.
I make a motion on 4220.100 at 1.65 million.
1.657.
1.65744.
Is that a motion to discuss or a motion to approve?
Motion to discuss.
Can-
And
can-
that should be 110, not 100.
Can you just make the motion and then discuss it and then vote on it? So you don't have to make a second motion. Yes.
Okay. Well, yeah, so do you guys want to make that a regular motion now, or do you care?
I make a motion to accept line 4220.110 at 1.65744.
Alright, made and seconded, alright, so yeah, what's the skinny on?
All right, so the skinny on this one is, so the proposal was a step, we haven't had a step in a few years, we've been doing a lot of COLAs, so the proposal was a step and a 2.9% COLA. September, the CIP's, September to September was 2.9, we went down, and that's where the 2.9 came from. So the commission last night voted to bring the line down to they went total salaries and wages down at the bottom at 2.2 million even. So Kathy and I worked today on what can we do to get that to the 2.2 million. So the first thing we did is we're still proposing a step. We brought the COLA down to 2.6%. Along with that,
The step is 2.5.
Correct.
And the
No, it's not
COLA
fast.
is now 2.6.
2.6, and then we also lowered overtime by a total of, I want to get the wrong number. I know I have it.
It's about 50.
We knocked 233 hours off of the overtime worksheet, and a lot of that came from, we did knock training down a little bit last night, so knocking the training hours down brings the overtime down, and then I think there's some, we could work some stuff around and make sure we don't get to that overtime number. So we brought that overtime number down by 2, so to bring it down to 2.2 million.
What kind of training did you guys cut?
You saying from last night, or?
Right, you said you cut 233 hours.
Yeah, 233 hours.
So
That was over.
That was, so
yes,
we,
overtime. But
You
I
said
thought you said I thought you said you cut it out of
well,
training.
so what we had proposed, we had proposed a training budget of 24,187, and so last night the training proposal came down to 20,000. So with that cut in that training, so I was able to. Honestly, I didn't go through the training worksheet and say I'm going to cut this, but I'm going to cut this item. I'm going to cut this item.
Just made a cut.
We just made a cut to training, so we have the training, and I don't, honestly, Dennis, I don't like the way the training budget is proposed, and it will be different next year, but I didn't have time to recreate the wheel and everything. But we have it split up in between mandatory training we have to do, like paramedic, AEMT, Swiftwater Research, ACLS, PALS, RSI, all those trainings that we have to do, and then we have trainings that we should do, but we don't have to. So that 233 hours, a lot of that will come out of the stuff we should do but don't have to do. So that's which ones. That's really for me to decide.
Right. Well, my point was is that
we're not cutting ACLS, we're not cutting PALS, we're not cutting RSI, we're not cutting any of our paramedic refreshers or anything like that. No, none of those are in danger of being cut at that level. It's not something, it's not something I'm worried about.
And we discussed that
The salary and wage increase also includes new employees.
I haven't got there yet, I'm sorry.
that's why I was teeing it up.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you,
No,
Jason.
there's a staffing thing.
All right, so in addition to the step and the 2.6% increase that's shown in the 2.2 there, we have a part-time fire prevention officer. Currently, we have a part-time fire prevention officer that works 12 hours a week currently. It's a call member, so that salary comes out of the call salary line. Our proposal is to move that person from 12 hours a week to 24 hours a week and have it come out of the career salary line. So my hope would be the same individual. We've talked, and he is interested in working 24 hours a week. And so we would move that person from 12 hours a week to 24 hours a week. And instead of coming out of the call line, it will come out of the full-time line. So his that salary for next year for 39 weeks would be $28,860 in that. And then, so this year I think at 12 hours a week he was about 50. If he doesn't work every week, but if he worked every single week it would be $15,000. So it is a $15,000 increase next year. The other $15,000 would be transferred from the call salary line. Well, not transferred, but it just wouldn't be spent out of that call salary line. Does that make sense?
We'll come back and address that when we get to that line.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So, explain, do you have that roster of the positions
Yeah.
And
I knew you would ask for it, so
so,
it's not, I didn't, so, let's see.
can you explain about the step?
Alright. So we have an old, not old, it was created in 2010 step and wage scale. It's 20 steps. It's not defined what a step is. It's not defined if a step's a year, 2 years, 3 years, when you get a step, when you don't get a step. It's kind of been arbitrary over the years when you get a step, when you don't get a step. Paul had asked me to put this together, so I told him I would, and I did. I've only had about a day to put it together. So this is all our floor employees, the 24-hour, the 42-hour-a-week employees. This way with them. I put how many years they were full-time at TNFD. This full-time at TNFD is what they're going to hit in 2026. So during the year this year. Does anybody have one?
So this is the 16 full-time
16
guys.
full-time guys on the floor. What grade they are and what step they're on. The P on here means paramedic. It's the same pay grade, it's just a different, it's a percentage increase. Paramedics are paid 10% more based on being a paramedic. And then you'll see at the bottom, there's several individuals that have full-time experience in other departments, and I put how many years full-time experience they had at other departments. Paul had asked me, here you go, Paul. Here is the current, this is the 2025 step and grade scale. If we do the 2.6% increase, you would just add 2.6% to every line.
Only on step one.
This says that the top includes 3%.
That is last year's.
That was last
That
year.
is not this year,
Yeah,
that is
that-
last year.
So,
We got a 3% COLA, so last year there was no step given, there was a 3% COLA given. So that is what it's saying is in 2025, a year ago, we got a 3% COLA, so we had to add 3% to this scale. So that is not this year, that is from last year's budget process.
I understand, so this matrix then is not accurate, is that correct?
This matrix is if paid today.
So the fact that it includes a 3% COLA, does that affect the base pay?
That affected step one, yes. So if the 2.6% COLA is received, that will affect step one. That's the, and then it just rolls
And
down.
it rolls, so then each step, if you look from step 1 to step 2 is a 5% increase. That's on the bottom there. And then from step 2 and above, it's 2.5% all the way up. And then the same thing on the way down. On the way down, it's 2.5%.
Now, when you say that, you mean like
You gotta humor me.
No, I don't. I know it's confusing because
I'm a
you've never.
blockhead,
Yeah.
so
So the 3% COLA, I shouldn't have put that on there.
Just
So
cross that off.
last year, a year ago in this room, they approved the 3% COLA. That's what that is saying.
right.
So
So that's included in the step one number,
Yes.
okay? And then every step after that is either 5 or 2.5%. Is that-
correct.
okay.
That is correct. The first one is 5, and then every one after that is 2.5.
And that's what it says down.
Right, yeah.
Now it is confusing, and again,
Well, I just want to make sure I understand.
When was the last time we did a pay study?
so it's funny you asked that because that was one of my. I talked to the commission on Monday night about that. It's been on my list of wants for a long time. I'm not a big fan of this pay scale. I think, first of all, I think there's too many steps. Second of all, I think there's a very good possibility that a firefighter could be making a lot more than the captain on the floor, which I'm not a big fan of. There's other things in this that are, it's old, it's not really outdated, it's really outdated. I think it's been 15 years since we did a real pay and benefit study. So that, a pay and benefit study can't happen overnight, you probably know that. So this year, one of my goals would be to do a real pay and benefit study, come back with a much better, much simpler. I think this is way too complicated, there's too much going on in it. But my opinion is there's not enough time to do it right now and do it correctly. I would like to do it correctly. I'd like to really make a good effort at a pay and benefit study, and I just don't think we have enough time to do it this year. So that's why I'm asking to just go with the status quo, what we've been doing for 15 years, keep at it, and then next year come back with a real pay and benefit study with a real step and grade system, and make it fair. If you look at this sheet right here, you can, if you start looking at it, you can see that our members aren't paid equally. It's very,
No, I saw that right.
it's very willy. I don't. That's what I don't like. When this, I can tell you because I was a firefighter at the time. When this step and grade system came out, I was a firefighter on the floor, and they told it was supposed to be step 1 was 1 year, step 2 was 2 years, and whatever we were making, we were just put it on that slot, and we were never moved. And it was never adjusted. So really, from the beginning, it really wasn't set out great. So I would like to, that's one of my goals, and one of the biggest goals I have. And I just don't think there's time to do a proper one this year. But so next year, we'll come back with a fully revamped pay and benefit scale. I mean, not pay scale.
So,
Is my goal.
labor grades 1, 2, and 3, there's no attachment to that for what the level of staff, the level of certification or qualification. So what's the purpose of labor grade 1, 2, and 3?
Your guess is as good as mine, Paul.
So if you're a firefighter, advanced EMT, you're gonna start at labor grade 4.
Correct.
If you're a firefighter, paramedic, at grade 4.
And it's just a 10% increase. If you see labor grade 4 firefighter paramedic is more than labor grade 5. So it's
Right.
labor grade 4 and then you add 10%.
So at the end of the day, you have 2 grades of this matrix that you're using, grade 8 and grade 4.
Correct.
Not against you, but
No.
it's just.
That's why it's.
That's why I want to do a pay. That's why I want to do a pay and benefit study.
Then,
And
can we bring in the, say the word compression,
so
which you've discussed?
I've discussed the compression with the commissioners. I believe, you know, when you get if you have people making a little bit and people making a lot, whatever it is, and you give them the same percentage increase every single year, the people at the top spread away from the people at the bottom. And I believe we can compress, if we can get the people at the bottom up, we need to have a little compression in the scale. And I think that pay and benefit study will address that. And we can, but until we do that and like really come up with a plan, I can give you one that's not the proposal. I have plenty of copies. You can have this copy.
So, what the increase boils down to is you're gonna give those 4 labor grades, the 2 4s and the 2 8s, you're gonna give them 2.5% increase, regardless of what step they're on.
Correct.
And then, in addition to that, you're gonna give a 2.6% COLA.
Correct.
So, come March, we're looking at 5% change. And that's what the public is going to question. The ask is over 5%.
Now, the last few years, we've done,
One or the other.
well, not only does one or the other,
Yeah.
but we've also increased base, like, starting wage, and then, of course, it goes up from there.
Right,
So is there any increase to the starting wage?
So this increases the starting wage 2.6%. So this increases the starting wage from currently,
$25.
I don't want to go, so, I can't find it on this one.
25, I think.
I didn't bring the right one. Tell me.
Guy
Kath-
that went from 24 and pushed it to 25.
I just didn't want anything.
Yeah, but that 25.
That was the starting.
But then it goes up.
Right, everybody gets,
So the current starting
Yeah,
pay is
25.
25.75. Can you just multiply that by 2.6 for me? I can do that. So currently it's 25.75. Thought I had that figure.
Is that current or proposed?
That's
Current.
current.
Oh, okay.
Current.
Where did we get the 75 from? 'Cause I thought last year's meeting we moved it to 25.
That was the year before,
Okay.
So
then they got
and then
26,
you did last year.
we
the
did
year-
a lift. A few percent.
Yes. You did the COLA?
Yeah, that's
So-
it.
So it'd be 26.42 would be the starting firefighter AEMT.
2642.
Which, and again, I haven't done a pay and benefit study, but I can tell you it's probably still in the middle, the lower middle end of what starting pay is today, just by seeing what's out there and how many jobs.
2907 would be the paramedic one.
Thank you.
You had asked me, Paul, I think it was you, and I didn't have time to research how much, but you had asked me how many full-time positions are, and I don't know if you want it, but these are, I went on the website today, and all I did was just every full-time firefighter position, just see who had them. I don't know if everybody wants. I wasn't able to go and see what the starting pay was, I didn't have time for that.
Oh, this is just openings?
Just openings.
Okay.
Some of them are multiple. I know like Belmont has 4 openings, 3 or 4. Seabrook has 2, so there's multiple
Do
openings.
we currently have?
We have no, we have an anticipated opening that, I don't know right now. We should have an anticipated opening soon, but we don't know yet.
Well, yeah, 'cause, I mean, are you guys looking for a deputy fire chief now?
It's,
I don't want to comment on that, right?
So that's,
Currently,
Okay.
it's, yeah, but it's.
we have a plan, I just can't, I could probably comment on it soon, in the near future, but I can't tonight.
Okay, but so,
Yes, thank you.
right, so nothing's really changed, so all positions are still in this budget?
Yeah, so this budget includes what,
A chief, a deputy chief, and all the positions?
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's where I was going.
yep, and it, also at the correct, pay.
Right,
And a part-time assistant
Correct.
and a fire prevention officer at 24 hours.
Well, I'm sorry, yes, the fire prevention officer, the assistant's already been in there for, I don't know how many years, 5?
5 years.
5 years.
Right, yeah, but I wanted to make sure it wasn't removed because the position
No.
was
No.
vacant.
No,
No, that's all in there, that's all accounted for.
Well, and this isn't call pay either, right? There's-
No.
That's another separate sheet.
That is a separate sheet to call pay.
Okay.
And, yeah, and that's another, one of my,
It's another conversation, trying to get some parity.
I would like to pay the call members, they're doing the same job as us, they probably should get paid the same, or even maybe a little bit, like a bump for not having benefits. But that's a discussion, again, for March, April, May next year, when we start building the real pay and benefits.
Does a 24-hour position bump it, kick in any benefits?
Benefits, no, it's a part-time position.
If you're less than 29 hours a week,
I wasn't sure what it
Yeah.
was.
back in the Obama thing.
Just, I don't want to lose track of it, but when we get to the call salary and wages, I want to readdress what you just said.
Okay.
Well, any more discussion on this? I don't think I have any more questions.
So, last night the commissioners removed 20 grand in change from that, and that came from a reduction in overtime, and what else?
A reduction in the COLA. The COLA,
Training, you reduced the training and moved some of that money over?
that's how we accomplished the overtime money. And then the other portion of money, I believe that was about 11, hold on, I can tell you what the number is. Where did I put that sheet, Kathy? Salaries and wages, there we go. So removing the 233 hours of training hours, that brought us, that was just over $14,000 in savings. And then the other savings came from moving the COLA from 2.9 to 2.6. And where I got the 2.6, just so you don't think it's the, I actually called Kirk Biotti, who's the town city manager in Franklin, in Laconia, thank you, he's from Franklin. And asked him what they use, because they use a lot of the CIP, because they're on a tax cap and the way they use the CIP, and what CIP numbers he uses. And he uses that seasonally rate adjusted, and it comes out every 6 months. And so I went back to the July one, and it's a much firmer number than going just in September every year. I like the number going into July, and then in that July number it was 2.6, and that's where I got that number from.
Yeah, that's very consistent with most city municipal budgets. They're all tied to that same number, pretty much the whole state, so.
So, the purpose of the COLA is to maintain
Correct.
your livelihood. The purpose of the 2.5% step is to maintain our position with regard to surrounding communities.
Correct. So we, one of our goals is to make sure people don't leave, right? When I first started here, we had people, we were just a rotating door. I got hired with 4 people, 3 of them were gone within 2 years, I think 2.5 years. Greg could actually, maybe 3, but, and we were just a revolving door. The commission and the district and the communities have really stepped up and made this a place that it's not a revolving door, and we don't want to go back to that. And it's just trying to keep pace. And I think I said it last night, and I'll say it again. The big talk right now is because you see this list of people hiring, everybody's hiring, and how do we recruit, how do we recruit, how do we recruit? Well, the best way to recruit is to retain and not need to recruit, right? And if we can retain employees, that's the best way to keep them. And that's where the 2.5% comes up. And if you look at our step and grade here, there's not many fire departments at 16 people that can say their captains have 24, 15, 17, 22 years on the department. We have firefighters with 23 years in the fire service, 20 years in the fire service, 12, 15. For a small 16-person department, that's saying a lot, and so that's where the 2.5% comes in.
I suggest that you keep that comment in your holster ready to go, because it's a very valid concern, and I think for me, I'll speak for myself, that sways my opinion more than the COLA or anything else. So I would suggest that you have that on the tip of your tongue ready to go.
We get that for the recording and just.
Well,
Because at the end of the day, this right here really tells it all, right? We have 8 paramedics. 8 paramedics. I cannot stress how blown away I am by that. Our department is so well qualified. What's the difference between a paramedic and an AEMT? On the ambulance, on my living room floor. What's the difference?
It's tremendous. There's a tremendous. AEMTs are wonderful. I'm an AEMT myself. There's a lot of things we can do. There's ways to save lives, but paramedics truly, it's amazing the medicine I see happen in the field and what they're able to do with their skills. This is like the RSI program is just what we've been able to do, and I wish Captain Gilmore was here because he'd be able to better explain what they're doing on the floor. But paramedics, the level of care, AMTs are a little bit, but the paramedic level of care is amazing, and the fact that we have 2 assigned per shift in a small department like this is just it's wonderful.
It's pretty amazing.
And then the other side of the operating budget is, beyond the retention piece, what is the cost to hire somebody? Suit them up, background check, physicals. It costs money to bring somebody in new every single time, and it ain't cheap. New turnout here, new uniforms, So there's a cost to, right?
How many of our paramedics went through the training program where they had to sign a contract that they would work for us? Or, well, I think it was 5 years.
So he did. Who's that?
We had one that bought out.
Actually, I could go to this list. I don't, this is the one I don't want to give you because this one has names on it, but I can go here for a second.
Yeah.
So, one, we have one that bought out but then came back.
Right.
And then for 3, 4 of our 8, I believe. I'd have to, you wanna, so he did,
No,
but he went through the program here.
not here, not with us.
He was full-time though. Oh, he didn't, okay.
So,
Sorry, it's a,
These freaking new guys, really.
I know, really?
Tough to get
He
good
bought
help.
out.
yeah, so 1, 2, 3.
He didn't sign it because he was
Rookie.
thingy with the state.
Leg.
Oh, yeah.
They were doing that.
So our last paramedic, we got a grant, or we didn't pay for the training. So we didn't make him sign, because we got a grant to pay for the training. So
That one,
Grants are
he
good.
came with it,
he came with it, and he came with it.
and he came with it, so, yeah.
So currently, there's 3 on the roster, and then one we got, it was a grant, so we didn't have to sign, because it was a
And is there any concern that once that employment requirement is fulfilled that they'll bail?
Not these, there is
Not
no,
these
we
guys.
have nobody left on the employment. They've been paramedics longer than, so that's a three-year contract, and all of them that had signed that are past the 3-year mark. You know, there's always a concern that paramedics can leave. Paramedics can write their ticket and pretty much go in anywhere in the state they want. That's why we try to maintain a good working environment on top of it, because we know we're not gonna be able to pay what some of these other departments are paying paramedics. I think if you go a little bit south, not too far south, a paramedic gets paid much more money than a paramedic in the Lakes region. So, that's another reason we try to stay, so we maintain a good working environment for the paramedics. They can stick around. And I want to go back to something Jason had said for a second. Jason had mentioned, when we hire somebody, we have to buy all that equipment, all that training. And one thing I've been saying it my whole career, even before I had it. It takes me 5 years to make a good firefighter. Just because you have the certifications, just because you know what you're doing, doesn't make you a good firefighter in the community you're at. It really takes 5 years of being out in the community, being on that ambulance, working, knowing your streets, knowing your community. It takes a long time, and most of our guys have been here that long, or have been somewhere else, and then lateral transferred in.
Did Jason say something about unionizing?
No.
We have and we've had it for about 17 years now. We have a local. They belong to they're a union local. They belong to the IAFF. They do have their regular meetings. They have the rights of a IAFF local. They do not collective bargain. Does that make sense? So we do not have a collective bargaining unit. Back in 2009, they petitioned to bargain. I think there was, I wasn't part of that. I was here. I didn't get too involved in it, so I don't want to give you a history of something I don't have a good history of. That was the last time they attempted to collective bargain. I think they've always been, I felt that their voice has been heard. When they come to the commission listens, and they talk, and I think the community's taking care of them. So as long as we continue to take care of them, and the commission has an open door, and they always have, and they feel that way, I don't believe a collective bargaining, but I don't want to speak, for them. I
So
can't
would that
speak
be
for them.
another bullet for you when 50 people are burning a cross in the high school, that, we're not union collective bargaining now, but, if you step on their necks long enough, then.
There's enough staff in place now, and that was kind of part of when we did the SAFER grant. I think that upticked the membership to a point where it was an eligible membership
That was the
level.
fear.
That was,
of them.
you know what, but, great guys on the trucks and a good relationship, and, you know, nobody needs to, you know, kick that hornet's nest. It's been pretty good. My only caution, and, you know, it's always a tough year, you know, historically, if you look back, doing the step in a COLA, you know, I don't think we've had a year in a long time where we've done both. We concede to one or the other, but it's a competitive environment. It's not easy to go forward in a year where, you know, we're trying to build some buildings, and, you know, so that's why I love the committee side of it. It's, you know, we're all telling around to talk about it, and you know, in a year you could do one or the other or both. You know, and I think pulling the ambulance off the warrant article, again, that's not an impact to the operating budget or the tax rate, but
Sounds good.
this is why we talk about it.
Right.
It's like, hey, listen, what's the plan? Like,
In-
these buildings, you know,
Right.
you know, that's
So we
the
got,
whole.
we got the building, but do we have other major stuff that we need in this budget?
There's some, I don't know what you consider major, there's some $15,000 expenses but that's mostly in the apparatus and equipment fund.
Right.
There's no large purchase, there's nothing, there's
Just
no.
trying to run the business, really.
Yeah,
And take care of where we're at.
Not a
There's-
crazy.
yeah.
I don't have any trucks, I don't have any
Kid in college.
machines, I don't have any, you'll see there's some encumbered funds that we already had a warrant article for, but other than that, that's for the ambulance.
Yeah.
There's nothing big in here, there's no
Good,
gear
good.
washer this year, there's no, extractor, there's no SCBA compressor.
Nothing
No.
big on the warrants, which would say, well, you're getting this, and you want
Yeah.
restore
Right,
sports
right,
car, and you need a septic system, and you got a kid in college.
Yeah.
and-
Thank you for trying to redo this, because
That's,
you know, and I've
It's a
said it
mess.
before, and you know, I'll say it again, but people get scared about union contracts in this community, and they really shouldn't, because it protects the community, it protects the guys, and it gives everybody a straightforward, plan moving forward, so we don't get into
that's,
this mess.
it's so confusing.
I know some people are against it, but I mean, as you grow, it's inevitably going to happen here. So I just open your minds. I
Well,
wouldn't.
when the I'll
That's
tell
a
you,
big ask.
when the PD
I-
did it,
Community.
it was not very well executed when the police department until so there's some of that.
Maybe
Those-
so, but
yeah,
as we
that's-
grow as a community, these are discussions that you're going to see are going to eventually circle around. We're not going to be a small community forever, especially with the growth that's going on. So, just people got to keep that open mind. That's all I'm trying to say. So.
Well, thankfully, right to work as a state employee, choose or not to choose. We disagree, and
Right to work isn't. We're not a right to work state. That didn't pass.
I'm not paying any fees. I am no longer paying the fees to the union out of my paycheck, even though I
Call
was
the
not a member.
question.
I was gonna say, let's call it
We probably should go.
No longer, I am no
we're
longer.
getting away from salary and wages.
Yeah, let's,
I'm not a dues paying member.
All right. Any more discussion? Anything else? Okay. All those in favor of 42020 line item 110? Yeah, 110 for $1,657,484. Say aye.
Aye.
Nay.
Nay.
Any abstentions? So one nay. Everybody else.
I move
Yes.
line 4220.110.5 holiday pay at 74,654.
Second.
And that's tied to
Yeah.
the last line.
Made and seconded for 74,654. Any discussion? No, seeing none.
Wait, a little quick on the draw there, brother.
Gotta get us back on track.
Can you explain this is holiday pay, so the commissioners and the chief's numbers are different. Can you explain that difference?
Because the reduction in the reduction from 2.9 to 2.6, and that's where that numbers come from. So the proposed and the commissioners were.
So your number essentially hasn't changed, just the COLA decrease.
The
lowered
COLA
it.
decrease lowered it.
Okay, thank you.
Take away.
Thanks.
You're good? Okay. Any more discussion? No? Alright, so all those in favor of 74,654, vote no.
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? One nay, or the abstentions. So one nay, everybody see you.
Who's voting nay? Is it you?
The horse.
Why?
Because I didn't support it last night. My number was different than my colleagues.
Is your number higher or lower?
I'm not here to comment on that.
No, you're-
You're voting
I
aye.
move line 4220.111 overtime at 398,817, which is the commissioner's number. And that, I'm sorry,
I'll second it.
and that was strictly to reach that 2.20.
Correct, that was we lowered that to reach that, and, you know, again, I used, Chief Seatar he used 3-year averages and everything, we went back on a 3-year average of what we used, our total liability for overtime, if everybody took their time off,
It's like $1 million. It's
it's,
outrageous.
yeah, and this doesn't include training, this is just total liability, if everybody took their sick time, it's $535,049, and that doesn't include the mandatory training and everything else, so,
How much
that's,
can they bank? Like, is there a cap for
Yep.
vacations?
so, vacation, it's user payout, so whatever you get, you have to use by, it's not your anniversary date, but the end of that calendar year, Kathy?
It's, for their vacation time, it's it's their
Sick.
anniversary date.
You have
For
to,
sick time,
sick time it caps at 288, so we're only allowed to have 288 on the books. If they go over 288, they just lose it, they don't get paid out. And then the personal time just comes out of the sick bank, so they're allowed 60 hours of personal time a year, but it
And
comes,
that
just comes
ends-
out of their sick bank.
that runs calendar year.
Yeah,
Okay.
so, yeah, and the reason we do have the 288, not more, I know a lot of fire departments run at 700 to 800. We do provide short-term disability, long-term disability, so that's where that offsets and helps out. So if you have somebody that's out for a long time for an injury that happened outside of work, they get that short-term disability, and they could make themselves whole with their sick time, and it gets them almost to that 6-month point. And it makes the liability for the district much lower than if you just had a 700 or 800 hour bank of sick time in there. So it makes our overtime liability much better by providing that short-term disability.
Alright, cool. Any more discussion on that? No? Alright, seeing none, voting on 398,817, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? No opposed. Any abstentions? Okay, unanimous.
I move 4220.120 at 69,045.
So the call salaries this
I'll
year,
second it.
Second,
I
okay.
thought there was a
Right,
second,
no.
so I get, slow down.
Yeah, discussion.
All right, so the call salaries this year include a $1 raise that was proposed a couple weeks ago. It was a $1 raise for all the call members currently. That said, part of the pay and benefit study I would like to do is, if a call member is trained the same as a firefighter, I believe they should be paid the same. That's one of, and so next year, one of my goals, again, in 4 days' time, I can't come back with a whole plan, it doesn't make sense. But I want to take some time and really revamp our call company. Our call company is amazing, they do great work, they do things that, anytime I call out, say I need a fireworks detail, I have 2 people who text me back within 15 minutes. Anytime I need coverage for a detail for like a fire watch, I always get coverage back. It's a difficult thing, the full-time staff doesn't want to cover those things, and the call staff is wonderful for that. But that's the little thing. The big thing is, those guys come down at 2 o'clock in the morning, they come down and they answer fire alarms, they get in the truck and they go roll. They've been doing it for, some of them for over 40 years. They do a great job. And one of the things I want to do is get their participation up. I feel like our call salaries, when I started here, our call salary line was 120, 130, and I've seen it decrease. So in 20 years, I've seen a salary line decrease, which that means they're not coming as much. I'd like to get more participation. I'd like to get more people on the call company. We just recruited somebody, and he finished his ride time today. He's going to be an EMT in a couple weeks. I'm very excited about him. I want to keep that activity going. I work very well hand in hand with Mike Robinson. Mike Robinson is invaluable to this fire department, and I want to work with him and get this call company back up. I mean, we're never going to, when I started here, we had 40 people in the roster. It's never going to happen again. But I'd like to see 15 active people, maybe, I don't know if it's possible. Right now we have 13 on the roster, I believe, probably 8 to 9 are active. I think that's probably better than most places, and I'd like to continue doing that. And I want to start providing them training. Now, the first year training we don't provide because a lot of people come and go, and that's not, it would be not cost effective. But the guys who've been here for a while and have given back to this community, and that's really what they're doing. They're not making a lot of money. They're not doing this for money. They're doing it to give back to the community. So, you know, the 69,045 is the same as last year, and I know that part-time fire prevention person was in there, and that salary is being removed from that. But I would like to see this number actually higher. I think I can get by with it this year, but I want to see what we can do in the participation from that call company. And I think it's a small number to provide them, you know, and I would hate, I think it was 9 or 10 years ago, we had to cut the call response off because of budget reasons, and I would hate to do that. That would it hurt me. I don't, I wrote, when that happened, I wrote the chief a 3-paragraph, 2-page long email saying how detrimental to the fire department was then, and I still share those feelings today, and that was probably 10 years ago. I hope to come back to you in a year from now with this line, you know, 20 to 30,000 higher. I don't know what that's going to be, if that's possible, but.
So how much was the fire prevention officer making?
He was making $25 an hour with the certifications. Their pay is based on what certifications?
I mean, over the course of the year, what was his annual salary?
If he were, well, so this year I think Chief had that number. I didn't.
Someone said
15 hours, but he didn't work 15
He didn't work 15 hours a week, so he.
I thought someone said 15,000
Yeah,
a year.
somebody said 15.
I said 15 a year if he worked 12 hours a week every week, but he doesn't work 12. Oh, here it is. I'm going to have it. This is, where's the number? So from so I don't. This doesn't make. I didn't write this, so I don't know if this number makes sense. $6,600 he made last year. I don't think that's correct. From April to September, he was at $6,600. He does have a vacation home himself. He leaves for 2 months during one of our slowest periods, which wouldn't be detrimental to the operation of the fire prevention division. And then if he takes a day off, he doesn't get paid, right? So that our total liability at 12 hours a week would be $15,000. He won't make that. My guess is 10 to 11, but I don't have that number right now.
Let me cut to the chase.
Okay. Sorry.
We're removing fire prevention from that line, and we're adding $1 an hour raise. How can those two numbers be exactly the same as what we appropriated last year?
I didn't make this wasn't an appropriation I don't have a good explanation where the $45 come from, Paul. It's just, I know, so right now this number is through, we pay our call members monthly. So this is 10 months of salary at $66,675. So if you add, you know, rough math, and you make that instead of 10, you make it 12. I'm going over on my call line. It's not, there's no way I'm not. 66675 divided by 10 equals times 12. My call line's going to be somewhere around $80,000 this year.
This is my concern. I don't think we're funding that adequately.
I agree.
Especially if your fire prevention officer is only making 66 over 6 months, maybe 8 for the total year. So you're saving 8. Now you have how many call members?
With 13 on the roster, probably 8 active.
Average number of hours per week that they work?
That's hard, because they're paid monthly.
I have some
monthly.
I have some that do 60 to 70 hours a month, and I have some that do 8 to 10.
So an average, let's say 40?
Yeah, we'd probably be lower than that, but yeah.
let's say
30, yeah.
30 per month, okay? 30 hours times 13 is what, 390 hours, times $1 is $390 per month, times 12 is what? About 4,800. So you're removing you're removing maybe 8 and adding 5.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be at, like I said, I'm gonna be at 80,000 this year, probably.
So you're underfunded 11,
Correct.
and we're gonna make up, let's say, 2 on this fire
Correct.
prevention switchover. So should that number be closer to 79?
I think I would appreciate that, yes.
Well, I'm not just making up numbers.
No.
I want this to be as realistic as
Yeah.
possible.
I mean, if the expectation is we're gonna be at 80,000 this year, 79 would be, you know, so if we remove 6 and add 4, 79 would probably be the right number.
What is the actual paid out to right now? Is that through?
That's through
October.
October, so we pay monthly, so that's 10 months of, so we have 2 more months of call salary.
Do you anticipate an increased usage of the call members next year? Like, I mean, there's a big, I understand the fire prevention, but there's a big jump from 2024.
Last 2 years.
Yeah, it's gone way up.
Yeah, I
So-
think there's been a lot of, our call staff has been very active and it's been great.
Yeah.
Our call training has been,
Do they get paid for the training?
yes, they do,
Yes.
it's 2 hours every other
Right.
Monday, it's 2 Mondays a month, they get paid 2 hours for the training.
They get paid for classes too, right? If they have to go through.
They get,
Ireland or EMT or.
typically we don't pay the first year class, so if they're fire one or EMT is kind of on them. Advanced classes after that we do pay. But that first class, we found, and I've talked to the deputy about this, we found that they'll come in, we'll pay for the EMT class, we'll pay them their hours, and then they'll leave. And so we get that turnover. So that first class kind of we put on them so we know they have some onus and they want to be here. Once they do that and they show, and then we take it almost on a case-by-case basis. If it's somebody who is just on the roster and hasn't shown up in 6 months, we're not going to pay for them to go to a class. And it's always a decision between myself and Mike Robinson, you know, and we talk about it. You know, if we have guys who've been here for 30, 40 years, who've been shown they come 50 hours a week, we will pay for any class they want to go to, and we'll pay their time there, yes. But we don't do it for somebody who isn't showing the interest.
Well, the 2024 is when you guys made a lot of cuts anyway. I mean, that was a big cut in the training.
Yeah,
So like you said, I mean, just to show the difference, you know, that 39,000, 2024 was a bare bone, that was a bare bone year.
Yeah.
If I,
That's correct.
Well,
Yeah.
some of us that were around when they parked, or when this decision was made to park the hours, you know, who was on the beat then, right? And so, there were other things going on in the budget, so there was a decision made at the chief's level of, well, I'm gonna stop this so I can pay for that, and, you know, that's one side of it, and I think we're past that. I think we need to have honest lines and spend them as we should, and not, I'm having a problem with you, so I'm gonna park these people, you know, and go pay for something.
Right.
else.
Well,
So that was one. The other thing is, I've always been, you know, for promoting this line, because that's the fishing pool, right?
yeah, we've had,
You,
Yeah.
right? So I mean, we bring our own staff up through our own call company from time to time. So what better way to, you know, if you can't retain, you can train and, you know, promote from within. If somebody could take, you know, somebody's into it and likes doing it on a part-time basis and they want to grow a career, you know, we've got our own, you know, we've got our minor league and a bench strength and people that are trained and work with everybody and run the equipment. And so I think it's a good opportunity that, you know, I'm glad that's part of the, you know, the forward mission. Is that,
I came up as a call guy, the call companies are important to me.
Yeah.
We're gonna vote on the 69, and what I would my feeling is that should be increased to around 80. So,
I
I'm
don't
gonna
think
vote.
that's a bad thing.
I'd like to make an amendment to your motion.
Well, should we vote on the motion since it's forward before I amend it?
Well, the real question,
Because,
You amend you made the motion.
right,
Can you
but
amend the motion without voting on the other one?
I don't think we should. I
You can
think
withdraw
we
and
should.
make a new
you
one.
can withdraw.
Yeah, we could
If you
withdraw.
guys wanna withdraw your
Okay,
motion,
I'll withdraw my motion.
and then who seconded?
Who's
it?
second?
Dennis.
Dennis, you seconded?
Yeah.
it? Sure.
Okay, I make a motion, we fund line 4220.120 call salaries and wages at $79,045. And higher.
Right.
He loves the round numbers, doesn't he?
Always, yes.
And 12 cents.
Well, something to think about, you probably don't have these numbers, but it's just how my brain works. Are these call members coming back and taking ambulance calls as well?
Yep, so, they're taking ambulance calls, but a lot of them, I don't wanna say names, I have one call member in particular. He comes down, he works close by, and he'll come during the day and come get the ambulance and meet us at that call, and that is more valuable than
Just moving trucks.
just
Okay.
because the way our trucks are set up, it's almost a 5-minute response time. We get a second medical call, the first ambulance is out. We get a second medical, the guys go downstairs, they get in the fire truck, they drive the fire truck to Park Street, they get out of the fire truck, have to take all their gear with them, they walk into the Park Street station, put their gear into the second ambulance, shut the door, get in the ambulance and drive out the door. It's about a 5 to 6 minute process, all in all. Where when we know he's around, he signs on IAR immediately. He did it today. We had a call in Concord. He signed on immediately. I can go there in a second, but so our guys can get in the engine and drive immediately to the medical call. We have a monitor. We have a first in bag. We can provide care. He shows up in the ambulance, and then he drives the engine back to Park Street. It's amazing, and it is invaluable. So. There is a few EMTs. Most of our call members are firefighters. But a lot of that's how, even not being an EMT, that's how they affect the medical calls.
Okay, no, that makes sense. I'm just thinking like the revenue side.
Mhm.
We're talking about a business. Is you lose one transport, and
Yeah.
that's a decent chunk of money. Is there any talk about getting those fire people though EMT certified? I think for the community, 80% is what we do is EMS.
Yes.
So is there any talk of them being cross trained?
The firefighters now, probably the ones that are just fire only that are on the roster now, that aren't EMTs, probably not. I do have I don't have my call roster in front of me, but off the top of my head, 1, 2, 3. I have 3 call, and then 1 that's in training. So I'll have 4 call members that are EMS that have their EMT. 2 are AEMTs, and 2 are EMT basics or whatever that is. It EMT now.
It's basic, or EMT,
Just
EMT.
It's just EMT now. Yeah, so I would love, because that's what we do. The more EMS, we unfortunately we just had another candidate who was an EMT. He was just finishing his ride time here, and he got a new career, and he had to concentrate on his career, so he had to resign. Again, we're trying. I don't know the number, and I'd have to make it up. But me and Mike have talked about it before. For every 4 people that call, apply, start doing the ride time, we get maybe one good call member. So it's 1 out of 4. It's not, we don't strike gold all the time, but when we do, it's great. And we've struck gold a few times, more than a few times. It just takes a lot of turnover and a lot of people, and that's why we've kind of stopped paying for that first class.
Was there a second to the motion?
Sorry.
I'll second it.
Okay.
So it's 79.
Made and seconded.
79,045.
That person that you were talking about, they're not an EMT.
Mm-mm.
He just drives the ambulance because
He's been on the fire department for almost 40 years, and he can drive any truck. He's a certified firefighter.
Right, but no. I'm just saying that's great.
Yeah, so he goes down to the fire station, he gets in the ambulance, and he meets us at the call. today, like we got called for a cover truck in Concord today. What he did is he met us at the fire, he met the crew at the fire station. The driver of the engine came out, he became the driver. They went to cover that call in Concord, and it still left a fully staffed ambulance in Tilton. And that's a huge, we send 3 people on a cover assignment to staff the engine. We leave 1 behind, so that allowed us to leave 2 behind and fully staff an ambulance.
Because it wasn't in the shop.
No, well, we had one in the shop for a couple hours today. But we actually had a call while one was in the shop today. Was getting the snow tires on today, so that only took a couple hours. But.
Will the commissioners go another $9,000 or so? Yeah,
I mean, this is
or 10,000, another 10,000?
It's our budget.
For what? It's our budget that
Our
gets
budget.
presented.
It's
The
budget.
town meeting, they vote on it.
So they're like 2.2, that's it, right? And
Yes.
then Sean worked it down.
So
So
now you're at 2.210.
Right.
you know,
I guess we'll have to see how it works out. My only concern is if we end up, higher than theirs, then typically they go for the other budget, typically, so.
What can you tell,
What do we have right now?
when we go back
Yeah.
to the Social Security and Medicare, I'll have those numbers available for tonight,
Oh, okay.
okay?
I had those numbers because
No.
they didn't change it. No,
Let's
They,
wait till we
if
get.
they
Oh.
change it,
they did. Yeah,
Yeah.
my
They did,
I'm
yeah.
gonna shush.
We haven't
Shush me.
voted it, yea or nay to change it.
It's,
yes, thank you.
Well, made and seconded, do we have any more discussion? You good?
I'm good.
Alright, well, the motions for 79,045. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Say
Aye.
All those opposed? Abstentions?
Just one.
1 abstention. It passes.
Okay. All right, so,
I hope that was logical and made sense. That was my goal.
Thank you for that, guys. The call staff is very important to me, and the more we can do with them, the better.
So now we have to up the total salaries and wages.
all right, give me a second,
She's
and I will
Kathy's
tell you.
doing all those numbers right now.
Should be 2,210,000.
Yes,
We need to make a motion, we need to approve that one too, bottom line.
No, it's a
No.
default because it's just.
It's just how it calculates.
Okay.
everything,
Yeah.
You already voted the individual lines.
Exactly, so.
and then if you wanna go back to do,
Social Security.
Social Security and I'll have
So
that.
the total
Well,
for
yeah, we'll
line
wait till we get the.
4220.100 is 2.2100000.
Correct.
Correct.
Correct,
Correct.
Okay.
Dot 00.
okay, now,
Dot, or,
Dot.
we,
Alright, I think we're on training fees now.
you wanna go back and do Social Security, Medicare, and retirement first?
Oh, I didn't know if we had them done.
I'm coming.
Oh, okay, I guess we
High
did.
speed little drag.
I wasn't expecting that.
I jumped right on that boat.
Alright, what do you,
I move 4155.220 at 14.8.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
wait, she's got
Whoa,
change
whoa.
numbers, yeah.
Gotta change the number,
Get to it.
because you upped the,
You said you had it.
I do, when you started speaking, and, all right, so 220 will now be 15502.
At 15502.
I'll second that.
Alright, made and seconded, any discussion on that? No? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Just one.
1 abstention.
I move line 4155.225
32045.
at 32045.
I'll second it.
Made and seconded, any discussion? No, so voting on 32045. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
How did it go down?
It went up.
Any opposed?
From the commissioners, okay.
Any abstentions?
yep.
1 abstention, okay.
I move line 4155.230 retirement at
That stayed the same because it wasn't, that's just on the career.
Okay,
Oh, that's the same?
yeah.
That's the
makes
same.
sense.
584,981.
I'll second it. Made and seconded. Any discussion on that one? Alright, all those in favor of 584,981, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That passes. So now I think we're on,
Page 4, again,
School,
for
right.
training.
okay.
Highlight that one.
I move line 4220.335 school/training fees at 20,000, which is the commissioner's recommendation.
Second that.
Made and seconded. I know you gave us a snapshot. This is tied to what we were talking about before.
This was tied, yeah, and again, this isn't my spreadsheet, I just have it, if you guys want it, I can pass it out, this is where the chief, this is gonna change, but, I mean, I still wanna promote training, I just have, it's not gonna change this year, I'm not gonna have time to, I think, so with the, required training, let me see, where did I
I
go?
think you previously stated that you're fine with the 20.
20, I'm fine with. Yeah, I have no problem, 20, I think that'll get us through, and we'll be able to provide adequate training for the guys, at 20,000.
Okay. Any other discussion on that? No? Alright, all those in favor of 20,000, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Could I just ask who said that?
I did.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Eric did, yeah, I did, leave me to that one.
Any abstentions? Okay, that one passes. Yeah, we already did talk. So we're on the next one, right? IT. Okay. How do you guys wanna do? You wanna just do the bottom line or each one individually?
I'd say the bottom line, and then if we have questions on the individual, we can ask those.
Right.
It'll be all right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Gene.
Hey, I'll make a motion to, on telephone, 341.
No, next page.
That's right. 342.
That's the very top.
Information technology,
Yes.
all right, I'll make a motion to accept 50,000.
Second that motion.
Moved and seconded. Discussion.
Yeah, let's start at the top and work down.
Okay.
Well, it looks like the commissioners carved 3571 out of that. Where did you expect that to
Look what
come
we've been
from?
paying for the last 3 years.
How did you come up with 50 and not?
That was me, but, you know.
Actually, didn't we get a brief, so when we met for the first one, I thought someone briefed us, was there something different that we added, on the IT side this year?
The
Was there a new?
bid warden, it's a new,
So there's a few big things coming up this year. One of the things is a new wireless access point, so that's extra money that we don't, that's an extra 2,000 that we don't normally spend. Implementation of Bitwarden will be 2,000. We had budgeted for it in 2025. If you see that right here, we haven't spent it. And currently, we are in a budget crunch, and we have frozen all operating budget spending, so we're not going to implement that this year. So that'll be implemented hopefully next year. And then we have, and then mobile device manager. We have come to the point now where we have 2 iPads in each ambulance, 2 iPads in the engines. The fire prevention guys all use iPads. And we've asked our IT company to come up with a way to control the iPads at a district level. And I believe this is a one-time fee. I don't think it's a recurring fee. But for a mobile device manager for iOS devices, is which we use, is a $4,000 cost. But what it'll allow us to do is at the firehouse, I can say it has this app and this app and this app and this app on this iPad, and I can control what the iPads have. And then we can also, right now we're operating on one Apple ID, So every iPad in the fire department has the same Apple ID. This mobile device manager will make each iPad its own iPad, because fire prevention inspectors need different things than EMTs need on there.
Which
Yeah, which
line are we
one's-
talking
Yeah.
about?
The mobile device manager.
That would be in the,
Hardware,
I think it's in the hardware.
it's on the computer hardware.
Right, 'cause that's right below the $8,500 one.
Yeah, and then Microsoft has a lot of updates too, I believe, this year.
Yes.
So-
So that's another expense.
So Microsoft is having a 5% increase in their fees. So one way we can get away from that 5% is by paying for 18 months up front. So that is the difference in Microsoft Office this year. That's why it's so much. But then come next year, it'll be less. Well, actually, probably be back to, because they keep increasing
Right.
fees. But that's 18 months of service. Not normally all the other lines. If you look in the previous, has all been 12 months of service. So we're paying upfront costs of 18 months of service, and that'll prevent us from that 5% increase.
Right, so you're not paying for bit warden this year, you said? Or
And the
was it-
truth, it was appropriated in 2025. If you notice, if we didn't, and if you look at the actual, we didn't spend the money on that antivirus and the bit warden.
Okay, so is that
yeah.
so is that $2,000 out of that 5,500?
Yes.
For bit warden?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's additional costs that we didn't, and we're not going to be able to afford that this year. So
And you don't want to encumber the line item you were talking about?
we don't have
We
the
don't
money.
have the money
We're
to
not going
cover.
to. We've frozen all spending. Unless it's salaries and wages out of the operating budget, we are not spending money for the rest of the year. We might open spending back up with 2 or 3 weeks left to go, but the projection right now is we don't have the money to.
We're not gonna have
Why
that.
did you spend so much more on the QuickBooks?
On the quick, in 2025, there was a billing issue. I don't really.
It got paid twice,
Yeah.
and we're waiting,
We're trying to get the
Oh,
refund
we're
on
getting
it.
it back?
we're working on that,
Okay,
that's why.
all right.
So then, so most of the line items that we're still coming to are frozen as well for this year's.
Any in the
It's
operating,
not expensive.
if it's not, we have a lot of bills out there and a lot of stuff that's still coming in, and but pretty much anything that isn't staff related in emergency function is frozen right now. Apparatus and equipment fund is not frozen, so we can still work on our trucks, we can still buy EMS equipment, we can still operate there, and then we're still paying the staff, we're still providing the overtime, we're still running the trucks. But like station maintenance, clothing allowance, IT services, anything we can't spend, we are not spending right now.
What was what put us there? Do we have some major?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, it's a personnel issue, we can't talk about.
Oh, okay, personnel. Okay.
Okay, that's what okay.
All right.
That's, I had the same question. Okay.
So back to 342, we played pinball there for about 10 minutes and I'm totally confused.
You confused? Do you want me to go right down?
Please.
Okay, I'll go right down the list. So Image Trend, that $1,000. Image Trend is our records management system. We don't actually truly pay for the records management system. That is provided through the state. But what we do pay is the $1,000 fee to have our CAD at Lakes Region Dispatch download the information into our records management system. That's where that $1,000 is. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. The IT services is Mainstay. We don't have an in-house IT. Mainstay provides an excellent IT service. They are a wonderful company to deal with. And we've been with them for a long time now. Any questions on that?
No.
All right, the antivirus, Microsoft Bitwarden, that was the one I was saying we're taking we're taking the $2,000 from this year we were supposed to spend. We're going to do that next year, and there's a few other updates in there, and I believe that also, Kathy,
Does that include?
includes the we're going to start doing like phishing scam trainings and through Mainstay and some stuff.
Yeah, I hate that. No, it's not, but it's so annoying.
Yeah.
But good for you.
So that's going to be provided by Mainstay. Any questions on that one?
So we appropriated 22
Mhm.
and now it's at 55, but you said you're getting rid of it or?
No,
We couldn't buy Bitwarden. We didn't buy Bitwarden this year. We didn't pay for it.
But you're still at $3,300. What is that 3,300? increase.
What about
No, that's 05, 03, implementation of bit warden.
yeah, that's 20.
I know. This is one of the ones I might not have a good answer for, Paul. I can tell you, configure and roll out Bitwarden, $6 a month. Some of these words I don't know what they mean. Replace EOL, oh, that's the access point I do, that's not.
Right, that has to be. So
Well,
that's,
This might be the Murakami licensing for the FW2 switches, yeah.
It wouldn't offend me if you said we should come back and look at that.
I could come back, I can't,
well, let's see, 2,500 of that, computer hardware is for computers.
no, we're on the one before
I
that.
know that, the
Oh,
antivirus, but
So
the,
there have been Microsoft increases.
that's in a different line.
Yeah, but
So, we have a,
And
it has to be in this, so we have a $10,500 projected cost for, because, well, I'm sorry, Paul, I don't have a
No,
good answer
it's
for that.
fine.
I'll just
I'd
tell
rather
you
The
you
mobile-
say that.
from the commissioner level, last year's appropriation was under 40, we added 10 to it, and thought that the extra, basically, 10 grand would get us through the year.
I guess,
I could, want me to keep going down the rest of them, or?
well, what I'd like is a firm understanding what each of those is and why they differ from this year.
I can
that's
probably
fine.
explain that.
okay,
It's everything but that 34203 is the only one I don't have a
Okay,
good
Okay,
explanation for.
so 05, computer hardware.
So computer hardware, this year we need a new wireless access point. That is most of the increase in that.
and 2 computers.
And we're gonna need, yeah,
Are these desktops or laptops or iPads? or-
Desktops,
2 desktops,
yes.
and those are going where?
I have a list, I don't have it with me, but we have, so Mainstay has a list and they tell us when we should be replacing each.
So you have 2 desktops at the duty station.
Mhm.
Kathy has one, the chief has one, the deputy chief has one,
And the captain.
the captain has one, and the administrative assistant has one. So we're
Correct.
at 7.
Mhm.
So 2 of them are being replaced at Mainstay's recommendation?
Correct.
Yes,
Okay. That's all I need.
So the 25, then that appropriate, or that actual is gonna turn out to be the, actual for the year, right, cause it is frozen?
We might have some bills out there that we haven't paid, or in some, we're still waiting for some, but pretty much, yes.
But even if you spent everything you've appropriated, you're still at 39,
Mhm.
so.
If nothing else changes.
Yeah,
Understand, I'm not trying to beat you up.
No,
I'm
no,
trying
no,
to
no.
Understand
Paul,
if we
this-
need to spend more, I'm
I'll be honest, Paul.
It's valuable at district meeting, when everybody knows due diligence is done.
Paul, I went to Kathy today at about 4 p.m. and I said, I'm ready for every line but IT.
okay.
I'm just throwing information out.
Why don't
Sure, now
we
he
come
tells
back? Why don't we'll come back to it.
If you want to give me, that would give me some time to have a better understanding of that line.
do you guys wanna withdraw the motion then, or we can just vote it down?
Okay, so,
Well, if we voted down, no,
Just
I
withdraw it.
Just withdraw, it's probably easier.
Yeah.
Let's.
I'll withdraw my motion.
They're
yeah,
gonna-
if that's the amount,
I'll withdraw my second.
okay?
Okay, so then we'll just come back.
Jane and I withdrew our first,
Okay.
our motion second.
Thank you.
We'll address that next.
Alright, you guys wanna go to, 350, looks like the next one.
I'll make a motion, we fund the line 350 in its entirety at $16,860.
Second.
Made and seconded, discussion.
Yeah. 30, sorry Kathy. She,
I'm just like, oh,
so 33 exams, that's your full-time guys
And the call
Me
staff.
again.
and the call guys.
Did the exams go up, I'm assuming, from last year, was that the reason for the
Doing
increase?
classes on
Yeah.
I mean, from 10, what is it, 860 to 13, 860, just assuming they went up 3,000? Yeah.
So waiting on that big beautiful $2 mark at the gas station.
I know, wouldn't that be nice?
You ready?
I don't know. That's why I said big beautiful.
Yeah.
That's how it's put out.
Maybe $3. Maybe $3.
Oh, I can take that 250 over it. Jeez.
That's not bad.
If you use that card.
So last year was
Yeah.
33 exams at 420. This is from September 24 of 2025.
So 33 times 420 is 13,860, exactly what he put.
Yes.
Why we only appropriated 10,860 last year, I don't know.
That's just-
We only used 9,136.
I would hate to underfund it and not be able to do them, but
Well,
No, that
aren't,
one seems
aren't
great.
We're not-
physicals mandatory? I mean, don't-
we do,
Yeah.
yeah, we do, yeah. Our firefighters have to do them.
Well, we're at, the total line is at 12,823 so far this year. And we still have at least one waiting.
Mhm.
Do we know though, did they go up cost to them?
I'd have to ask Captain Ames. Captain Ames handles that. I thought it would be in here. Captain Ames is very good at
Looking
sending us
at-
budgets, but
The budget, last year, the figure that was entered on the chief's budget was incorrect, because if you do 33 times 420, it is the 13,860.
Mm.
And so, when that figure was entered last year, it was entered as incorrectly. It was a typo, I would
The
assume.
bottom line was right, the 13,860 shows up on the bottom line.
Right, but it should have been
But it should have
16,860.
60.
Right.
But that was a different person.
Were the physicals cheaper last year?
No,
Okay, same price, same number, okay.
the physicals do vary a little bit because depends what age you are. The younger you are, the cheaper your physical is, because you don't have to get a 12 lead every year. You don't have to get a chest. Well, chest X-rays are every 5 years. So if you're on the off 4 years, you don't need a chest X-ray. Your physical's cheaper. As you get older, you need more things every year. Once you hit 40, I think you need a 12 lead every year. It's kind of so it depends on who's going, what the cost is.
Okay.
So you have to get a physical.
Yes,
So that's 16 plus 1
the deputy is 2.
deputy. Robin, we're gonna move to the call.
No, full-time deputy. So, there's the full-time chief,
Okay.
full-time deputy, 16 floor guys, so there's 18 right there.
18.
Yeah,
And then the call, so that leaves 15 for the call guys. You have 13, you said now?
13.
Plus Deputy Robinson is 14.
Maybe when I didn't make this line, so there might have been, we just lost a call number, so that probably was added, that was in that line.
Just a fire prevention officer.
He'd be moving from the call staff to the full,
Oh.
yeah, so he's counted in that, right now he's counted as a call member, so he would
So
be.
still-
you're within one person.
Mhm. Yeah.
And the 5 new employees, that would be,
Only based on turnover, or,
well,
Yeah.
you anticipate adding a new person,
Mhm. That's at least one,
full-time guy.
correct.
And then the any new call guy has to get one
Correct.
also?
yes.
So 5 seems pretty reasonable for that. So it looks like the 16,860 is a pretty fair number, in my opinion.
Alright. Yeah, I was just trying to make sense of it in my head, just looking at the 25s and 24s. To me, it looks like it's a little high, but it could just be my eyes right now. But we have a motion on it and seconded, so if you guys want to vote. Okay, all those in favor for 16,860, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Passed, 16,860. We have to do, this line item for $1, it looks like, just to keep it open? So-
Yes.
Okay.
What's the CMCR fees? I mean, obviously, we're not doing another survey.
That was the, central main, that was big,
Oh,
right?
I should,
The
I
motor
should wait
vehicle
for it, yeah.
accidents.
You know what? I'll make a motion that we fund line, 390, 101 at $1.
I'll second that.
I started the discussion, my bad.
I think the budget was, 390 bottom line, not so much the.
Yeah, the .01 is for that specific line item,
Yeah,
where
but we have to
Oh,
have
yeah,
something
just
there.
have to keep-
390, my bad.
Yeah.
it's just professional service
Right.
or other.
Any discussion on $1? No? All those in favor?
Wait!
Any opposed?
50 cents.
Paul's like, $2!
Alright, $1.
Is $1 enough?
You
Is that
gotta
gonna
round
work?
out the bottom line budget.
Gotta go 50
We have
cents.
15 minutes.
It's gotta end at an even number. The Patriots are on something.
I'll make a motion that we fund line 392, background checks at $500.
Second.
Made and seconded, any discussion?
Is that strictly for the 5 anticipated new hires?
Yes.
Yes.
Anybody we hire.
Anybody we hire.
Doesn't
Just
matter
new
who it
hires,
is.
Right.
Right, pick which one. Doesn't the state police do that?
We have to pay.
We have to pay,
It's a racket. Oh, you'll listen to this.
yeah.
Yeah, we made and seconded that, any discussion on that? All those in favor for 500, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? We're good. Let's see, looks like we're on printing.
I move line 550, printing at 500.
Second it.
Why can't we do total printing?
You can do whatever you'd like, Jane.
Well, we made and seconded the 500, do we wanna have any discussion on that?
I guess I'm a little confused. So we got, but we only have, so printing, I guess we have printing and copier service, my bad. You know, I was just confused by the bold, I'm like, I thought that was the header for the stuff, that's, it just scrolled me up a little bit.
So what is the printing line for?
Is that ballots or is that elections? Because
Ballots come under elections, but, this is for like,
envelopes and stuff.
These things.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, the things that with the warrant
Yeah.
articles and all of that, we.
yes.
Printing would be going to a print shop, right?
For envelopes and letterhead
Right.
or.
So,
Business
cards.
Yeah.
so
Yes.
business cards, what I just spent, I think $200 and something or 100 and, what we do, we have a check books.
You're the problem.
I know, me.
There's a spending freeze,
but
unless,
so-
you know.
It
Wow.
was
like-
before that froze.
The state prison makes us our truck check books. So every day we have to do a truck check on every piece of apparatus we're going to use, and then anything at Park Street when it gets used, when a call guy uses it, they have to fill out a truck check sheet every single time. They're little books. They're carbon copies. So that would come out of this. So like I just ordered another big box of those because they go pretty quick, and we keep those records forever.
So you're at 570 as of November 10th,
Right.
so is 500 enough?
No way to
It's hard.
digitize that.
That's what I was wondering too, yeah. 'Cause you guys don't
That
use
should be in
first
the
use,
tablet.
No, we
What do you use for that
we
stuff?
use image. We could so
Use
image
ImageScan?
trend to the record man. The truck check books are good for especially for the call company. They don't have every truck doesn't have an iPad in it, so then the call company would have to go find an iPad, and and like, oh, I'm gonna go do my truck check. I feel like have the books stay in the truck. They're carbon copies. Down at Park Street, we have 3 containers, and so anything that needs repair, they put it in that little container, and I can go down to Park Street, all right, this needs to be repaired. It's a good way for the call company to tell us that a repair needs to happen. Asking the call company to find an iPad or go on their phone and do a truck check on that, I think would be difficult. And then you'd have to make the form.
Okay, I just didn't know if yeah, the cost of those services are way more than 500, so that sounds like
Yeah.
a prime deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is that, it's our, we still have paper notice of hazard forms when we go to someone's house. We have a carbon copy notice of hazard form if they're not there, or if something is, say it's a chimney fire, we have to, and there's actually a fire in the chimney, we write a notice of hazard and say, do not use your chimney until inspected by, that way we have a notice, an actual written notice, because if something happens and they came back and, well, the fire department never told us that, it's like, nope, we have this notice of hazard right here, you signed it, and, you know, so our notice of hazards, any carbon monoxide incident, we have another paper form, so we can hand it to them for the same reason, we told you there's a carbon monoxide incident here. So that all comes out of the printing. And the state, we use the state Granite Corrections Industries, I think, and they have very good pricing, but we use them for all those.
Just show shit and redemption.
They'll get a dollar an hour.
Well, I'm satisfied with that. Is there any other discussion on the 500? No? All those in favor for 500? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Alright, that passes. Next up
I
is.
know 631.22 copier service at 600.
I'll second it for discussion.
Made and seconded. Any discussion?
Why was there 0 appropriated last year?
Because it was in the apparatus and equipment fund and not the operating account where it belonged.
Oh,
Yeah.
we just moved it over where?
We lump sum moved everything over,
Right, right.
and
Yeah, I think when the service and testing fees got moved, but in the, I don't know if it got lost, I don't know, but Kathy found, she came to me, I think, 2 weeks ago, she's like, look at all these lines that are in, and we're like, it was like the water cooler and the copier service and everything else, we're like, that does not belong per the way the special fund, the apparatus equipment fund's written, that can't be in there, so we moved it all back to the operating budget, so that was one of the
did
things.
the auditor say anything about it?
No, no.
Wow, really?
I don't see that in last year's.
It's under service testing, I think. In the apparatus and
Looks
equipment.
like that goes up and down.
apparatus.
Good service is a bit of a hook.
Okay, keep going. There.
Pretty cheap copier service,
No, they're not there.
$600 a year.
And you'll see
Yeah, they
it.
come and do the
Keep
toner.
going
It's
to
gonna
the
be
right out.
$2,500 when it breaks.
Yeah,
Oh, wait a minute, that's
This
last
is
year's?
last year's.
Oh,
Well, that's why I
all right, so, the same, the
trying
number
to
would be the
verify.
same.
It's not that I don't
No.
trust you.
The number is still the same, it's six
But-
thirty-one. Yeah, really, right? I don't trust you. I do trust you, but
Well, I think
see, grayed out.
all those that were grayed out and moved
Should
back.
have been an accountant.
Ooh, you're the best.
You made a good one.
An audit.
Yeah.
Okay,
You good?
confirmed.
Okay.
Do you trust me now?
So,
Just for
Uh,
verification?
Any more discussion on the
Oh, you're
600?
turning into the work.
well, hey, it's our money, right? So, you've got 804 actual for this year through 9 months.
That's right.
And we're gonna change that to 600?
We put in for 891.
Yes.
The commission brought it to 600.
It was 151 and 24.
I think it was probably in the apparatus equipment fund, that too.
Okay.
I believe, I don't.
For a portion of the year, right after
Probably.
March. Well, I question whether 600 is adequate. Was it the commissioner's idea just to
Go find the rest of it in the budget somewhere else.
I hate it when that gets said, I really do, because what that implies is that there's fat in there, and if we need it, we can take it from somewhere else, and what that tells me
Or,
is
or
we didn't need
we
it in
stop
that other
training, or
place.
we stop the call guys, or we stop this, or we stop that. I've seen the movie for too long.
I know, but you should always try to budget what you know. I mean, when you
Alright, so
leave
that's-
yourself with unfunded obligations, that's where you run into trouble.
Well, 3-year average. What's our 3-year spend?
300 a year. If you do 3 years, I mean, you got 800, 151 divided by 3.
Yeah, but like you said, we had, what, a year, and then
It was
maybe
in
a half.
other,
Right.
And we don't know what's in
where
the,
it went,
and
we don't know what we
apparatus
spent.
and equipment fund.
So it went there, and what did we spend? Can't, you know, you need the data.
could we go, I bet we could go right, would it, it's still in here, right? Move to operating accounts, so, copier service.
536, 511,
Yeah, 2024
Plus
actual
the-
536.
plus the 151.
So that would be 636, almost 700, and the year before that it was 511.
So you might not be far off.
If we take this year and project it out over 12 months, we're at 960 on just throwing that out there.
Alright, any more discussion on that? You guys wanna either vote this down or not? And then,
I personally don't think it's enough.
alright. You guys ready to vote? Alright. All those in favor for 600, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
And
Any abstentions? I believe it passes. 2 noes and then. Okay, so that line item is removed. Check dues is our next one.
Move we fund line 560 at $5,000.
Is there any wiggle room in dues, Sean?
I mean, there's, I haven't gone through, like, one
Give
of
it
my,
second or
Oh,
not.
we don't have a
before
second yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Anyone
I'll
want
second it.
Second,
Okay,
okay,
thank
made
you.
and seconded for
There we
5,000,
go.
now we're on discussion.
I hate to start at the bottom, but I keep going back, I don't know what Hostler is, and I've been,
That's the alert system that comes across on your MapQuest. It notifies you of an emergency ahead.
Also, when you're driving on the
Oh,
road.
Yeah.
I was on my list of things to figure out what
Was it
Hostler.
Hostler?
Yeah.
That's what the chief told us was like the rich cars have it in the, like the Mercedes
In the
will have,
screen?
yeah, in the
Yeah.
screen, not every car has it, but like the rich cars will have it and it'll show you.
And it'll show you when you're coming.
My car uses it on
So
Google.
we're paying
Yeah,
$12.96
same,
for
mine
someone
does
with a
too.
Mercedes
Yeah, mine
to
does.
deal
Yeah.
with her.
It's not a rich car.
And us schmucks in the Subaru are
That's-
screwed.
I mean, they might have
Yeah,
expanded,
I
they may have
drive a
expanded
Subaru.
it now, that was last year.
That's what I'm saying. You know,
Yeah.
Sorry,
Ladies
you're driving a
uses it all the
Kia,
time.
not today, sir.
Yeah.
Google Maps uses it. When I'm
Ladies
driving down the
use it.
road, there's
We'll pull
there's
you out of the rail.
I don't know if it tells me that there's,
An emergency
well,
event.
let me back that up, because the other day I was in line in Moultonborough for a truck accident, and it didn't tell me.
So they might not pay for the
Yeah, you
subscription.
have to pay for the subscription for it to show up.
So I have to rely on
Also,
other
it
people.
depends on what
And
part.
if Moultonborough isn't paying for it, then what the
Yeah,
hell is
forget
that?
You're clear through Tilton, but you're screwed in Laconia, right? And it's like, oh,
yeah, we don't
Belmont.
They're on dial-up, so
Yeah.
I mean, really, you know.
So I guess do you want me to go down through the line and explain what each one is,
No.
or?
I'm just like, you know, dues is dues, you gotta pay
Mhm.
fire chiefs,
Yep.
municipal, and it's kind of fixed, it's not something you can wish away, is it?
I'm saying, but what, I ask it every year though, like, what is that? I mean, so you have to pay your dues to have a seat on the
On the association, and then you're gonna pay a fee for 2 out of 3 meetings. Every third meeting is virtual, you don't have to pay for that one, but you have to.
Right, and the benefit to those, haven't you guys?
Yeah, so like I had a virtual meeting today, actually. I was 20 minutes late for it, unfortunately. But it's, those meetings are, it's a good, first of all, it's a good networking meeting to figure out what's going on in town, in the state. But then, the reports from all the commissioners, usually the Homeland Security Director will be there, 911 Director will be there, Director of the Fire Academy will be there. I'm missing some big ones. And they give a report on what's going on in the
Right.
state. And it's a really, it's how we keep focus on what's going on in the state. I think it's a very important, valuable association. How much I'm going to be involved in that association, that's something I have to, I've been in that association for 3 years. I go to the meetings. I attend all the meetings. I should attend most of the meetings. Other than that, I don't get too involved in that one. But it's a very important membership to make sure that's where you find out where grants are coming from. That's where you try to
Right.
find out what legislation's moving forward.
So Sean, why would we pay for two of the same seats?
Um,
If we're only getting one set of information anyway.
So it's important for the deputy to be there too. The chief and the deputy should be part of that association. It's good information. I could come back and tell the deputy what's going on, but for them to be able to network and meet everybody and like have that, because when you go, when you're going for something legislatively, if you have those contacts, if you have that
Right.
networking.
And will they not let the deputy participate and show up for the meetings if they have paid dues?
If they haven't paid dues, no, yeah.
Right, so they can't fill in
They
for
can't share it.
chief.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, they want that
That's,
money.
yeah.
Why, the only question I have, why is the actual so low? Was there stuff that just didn't get paid for,
I
or
was
hasn't
go,
yet?
So one of the big things was the National Fire Prevention Agency here. I don't know why the 502's in there actually, was that? So we started, first of all, we went at 1728, we went from an online subscription to what's called a link subscription, which is significantly cheaper. So we didn't pay the 1728 this year. We had it budgeted, and then we found the link, and we said, you know what, we're going to do the link. But in my fire prevention budget last year, I moved NFPA subscription, the dues for the codes, into the fire prevention budget. So it was moved completely out of this budget.
The chief did not move it out of here.
But we didn't pay it out of here either, though.
No, I know. but
And
he-
so that 502, I think that was for the NFPA link, which link is 630 this year. It's in my fire prevention budget. I think the chief put the 502 to pay for the NFPA link in this. He thought we were going to pay it out of this, but so we could probably remove that 502. I think they've already
They
removed
already moved it.
591 from
Yeah.
the bottom. So that's where that's one of the reasons. That 1728 is one of the reasons the actuals that much different. Because if you add that 1728 to the 20, that's still only brings you to.
So 502's coming out, so
That's
5,000 is a good number then.
Yeah, I think 5,000 is good.
Right, and all the zeros, those, like, they're due like the end of the year, the first of the year, something.
I know I just.
Notary's not every year, it's every couple.
Right, but we will have to have it this year because the girl, the new admin is not a notary.
Right.
I know I just paid for my International Association of Fire Chiefs and New Hampshire Association of Fire Chiefs last week. I don't think the IAFC one has come out yet, correct, Kathy?
Correct.
So that one's still to come out. Those have just changed to end of the year. Yeah.
Are you a CFO?
I am not. I have a plan to become one, but I am not. That CFO is through the New Hampshire Association of Fire Chiefs also. You do that through that association.
That hassle letter, is that a necessity? I mean, it looks like the price went way up from this year to, it was $12.96 and 24, this year it's only 800.
I'm gonna try to.
Actually, I'd say
Is that a
good
payment
catch,
thing that you
because
guys haven't, you still have like
Did
months
it,
to
go-
go?
did it go, yeah,
You
up
pay it
that
once
high
a
for
year.
this year?
So you're, okay.
Yeah, so we paid it in 24. It was more money than 25.
Because that was the setup.
Oh, that was a setup fee, and now it's $796 a year.
I don't know,
That's-
because we didn't have anything to do with that.
Yeah, I've never seen it alert my car. Have you? I hate to say that out loud, but like it's a wonderful.
Yeah.
We especially at exit 20, making cars pull over, anything to help cars pulling over is safely. If I knew it was working, I could really get behind it.
It's another 500.
It works in my car, but I have to have my Google Maps on.
On.
Or my,
Me too.
yeah.
So okay, so
Cop ahead.
anything to let somebody know. And honestly, I guess thinking of that, the first thing that comes to my head is that people with the Google Maps on are people who aren't familiar with the area. So for them to know that an ambulance or engine's coming is important. If someone's telling me it's working for $796 a year, I think it's well spent. That said, I've never seen it actually work on myself. but I don't know. So I don't really have a good answer for you, Eric. I wish I had a better answer for you. If people are saying it's working and they're seeing it, then I think it's a great spend of $796. Even,
Well, it's not, it's $1,296.
well, it looks like $796 now that it's set up.
But we don't know.
So we could actually lower this to 4,500 if I just did the math right. And then that would still cover all those line items.
I thought that's how we went
Second
from,
that.
from Sean's budget to that, what we did, no, we pitched.
No,
on
No, we
the-
pitched the NFPA one.
Yeah, and then if we take another 500, so we do have a made and seconded, so unless we wanna do anything different, we either have to vote or amend that, so.
Right. You can withdraw and.
Well,
I
I'm
made the
not trying to
motion.
cut away from
No.
firefighter safety,
No, no, no.
because if it
No,
works people.
Eric, I mean,
But-
it's
I'm
been on the
down
list
with
of
that.
things
I'll
to do.
But
withdraw my
if
motion.
Samerton doesn't have it
Okay.
and Canterbury doesn't have it, it's not gonna do anybody any good.
So you withdraw, who was
We don't
second?
even know
Who
what it is
seconded?
yet.
I think,
Did you-
second
James
that.
was the
Second that?
second.
Do you withdraw it too for this or
Sure.
no? Okay. So now we're clean slate now.
Yes.
Okay.
So I move we fund line 560 at $4,500.
I'll second that. So made and seconded, we're down to 4,500. Any further discussion on that? Okay. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Abstentions? It passes. So we're at 7:30. Do you guys want to try to push? I don't know if there's a good stopping point.
Do
Or...
your office supply line and kill the page.
Yeah, we'll do that.
The Patriots gave them.
Yeah.
We're really not killing the page,
All right.
but we can do that.
Do
I'm,
office
Yes,
supply?
yeah, we can do office.
Okay.
supplies. I was just saying 342 is still open for next time.
For next time. It'll be highlighted.
Oh, right. Yes, you're right.
So according to their website, it works on Alfa Romeo, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Lee's.
I
Well, we already voted on it.
No,
I don't drive any of those. And I don't use
Okay.
maps. I know
I
where
thought
to go.
we
You didn't
moved
have
on
rate.
from that.
Yeah.
We did.
All right,
Rate.
I'll tell you
I was
what.
looking for it.
I'll make a
Something
motion that we fund line
cops on,
620 at
Don't try
$2,800.
to cross, you should
I'll
have the
second
cops
that.
there.
Made and seconded for
That's what I'm
2,800.
So you-
Discussion.
You've spent 3,000 already this year, and you have 1/6 of the year to go.
Correct.
So that means it should be 3,500 if we go by this year's expenses. You compare that to the year before and the year before, you're spending a lot on all the supplies. What,
Lots of paper.
that's,
We have
shouldn't
these
that
ones.
be under copier service?
No, because it's paper. Paper's an office supply.
Yeah. Well, I will say the fire facilities committee will pretty much be done after,
Done.
and we burned up a shit ton of paper.
And it's all that big, long paper.
Yeah.
11 by
Ledger,
17.
And probably a lot of colored ink as well. So, I mean, I'm sure that committee was pricey.
Okay. All right. Any more discussion? Everybody feel good about that? Best we can. Okay. All those in favor of 2,800, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? It passed.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
He was waiting. That's the only reason I came to this damn meeting.
All right.
Head coach.
We are prompted. Dunzo. We're gonna push that.
I'll second that.
There's still a camera on, just so you know.
Next meeting, before we adjourn, when's the next
Oh.
The
meeting?
25th.
25th, I guess, is on the books.
The
At
25th.
5:30 or 5?
5. Oh,
I forget. Is that the one didn't we do one at
That
5?
one's.
Are we
adjourned?
We
yeah,
technically
it's
are.
adjourned.
Yeah, we're just.
Okay.
What time did we adjourn?